Reboot-Mania continues. These are both articles from BoundingTheComics.com. First is Will Smith returning for I Am Legend sequel that will add Michael B. Jordan. How in the living hell are you going to have Will Smith in a sequel? I mean, what the hell? Like seriously, like I Am Legend, the remake about the last man on Earth trying to survive in a world calling mutant vampires, had a rather definitive ending, no matter which version you watch. But it's getting a sequel anyway. The version I prefer is where he dies at the end. But I mean, I guess whatever. If you want to maybe prefer the other version, I'm not sure. Whatever. But the thing is, I guess apparently the pitch has come from Jordan, and you see here they talk about. I got some quotes from Will Smith. Yeah, the idea came up. I can't talk about it yet. Smith said the entertainment tonight, but it's a really, really cool concept. And Michael B. Jordan was a part of creating the idea. It's one of those I was going to leave alone, and then I heard the idea, but that might work. I think we could do that. It might work because I'm a big Will Smith fan. I mean, I've been a big Will Smith fan for over 20 years. I'd say probably going on 30 years now. But anyway, whatever. And I like Michael B. Jordan too. He's very charismatic, very good and stuff. But it's just, to me, it's like, man, they're just wanting to reboot everything, to just continue everything and stuff. With this, I'm just not sure how in the hell they're gonna do this. But anyway, I want to move to something else. This also involves Will Smith because it's about the Bel-Air show. It's the latest example of Hollywood's horrible trend of woke reboots. And there's a part I specifically want to talk about. Because he mentioned, he goes through and talks about woke reboots. Oops, sorry about that. He goes on and he talks about, a television show that only worked 30 years ago because everyone loved Will Smith and James Avery gets rebooted to look like The Wire. It's like taking it step by step and turning it into The Sopranos. So this guy's obviously not a fan. This is the basic premise behind Peacock's Bel-Air. I haven't seen it. I don't want to see it because I don't need to see it. But there's a couple parts in this article that I didn't care for. So I've seen the preview, I've seen the trailers and stuff. That's enough for me. No thanks. It's like this. Set in the modern day, this Philadelphia is one where people say the N-word and pull guns on each other because we need to reflect a realistic take on how this story would be told. Blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff. The problem is that in Bel-Air we take the charismatic character Will Smith and turn him into an angry, bitter teenager. He has an encounter with a local gang leader who put a hit on him after a pickup basketball game. When awry, he ends up in jail and is then bailed out by his Uncle Phil and shipped to California where he can become the new Prince of Bel-Air. And then this is the part where he starts talking about things I don't like. The names of these characters are the same, but the personalities have taken a complete 180. Let's take the lovable father figure of Uncle Phil and turn him into a corrupt politician who cares more about his campaign than his family. Then he throws in a little, because you wouldn't expect a black man who lives in Bel-Air to keep his nose clean, would you? Or do you? And he says, Carlton has gone from a nerdy, preppy student who viewed his father as his biggest role model and has turned into a coke-snorting egomaniac whose only resemblance to the original character is he's not down with the culture. Now, Hillary, seems to be largely the same because she's still a narcissist, so it makes sense that she would have a popular Instagram page. Add in an unfaithful Aunt Vivian. Like, what the fuck? And Ashley Banks, who's gay now because NBC Universal wouldn't greenlight this project without LGBT representation. I don't care about that. Ashley could be gay, whatever. That ain't a big deal. But it's like you've completely changed Carlton. And even if you don't think that's that much of a change, to have Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv they completely different. Why the fuck is Aunt Viv cheating on Uncle Phil? Why the fuck is Uncle Phil some corrupt politician? He was a judge on the show. He was a good man. I mean, and hell, you could argue very convincingly that show, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the sitcom, was more woke than most of this bullshit that goes on now, because they were showing black family, very successful, affluent and stuff. They had that one great scene, I mean, among many, where Carlton was accused of being a sellout by that one guy when him and Will were pledging to that fraternity and stuff, which they actually reference down here later. Man, what the hell, dude? Woke reboots are fundamentally lazy attempts to cash in on established franchises that do more to destroy legacies than add to them. And it's like, yes, that's exactly true. Imagine a screenwriter who crafts a story about a rich black family who lives their lives on a different side of the law. Imagine having to pitch how your idea is any better than television shows such as Empire and Power with similar concepts. You'd probably have a very difficult time doing so. Yeah, probably. Now imagine you take that same idea and blend it into a world famous television show that already did the hard work to build the fan base and respect the fandom. This is how shows like Bel-Air get made. A show that would have died on the vine if left to its own merits, but has the hard work already done for it by simply attaching itself to an already made franchise. Exactly. Like what the fuck? He even mentions at one part in the because he complains about how they have like kind of throwbacks, like they have like catchphrases from the original show in there. Well, here it is. In the pilot episode of the show, Will and Carlton are put at odds because Carlton allowed his white friends to sing rap lyrics using the N-word without checking them as a black man. It's like all other character traits of Carlton are removed from the reboot outside of the perception from black progressives that Carlton is a sellout to black people. And there's that scene from the fraternity episode and stuff. It's like, man, dude, I used to love watching The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It was a great show. Had a lot of great moments. I mean, too many to name. I mean, there was that awesome scene when Will's dad comes back and then leaves again, basically runs out on him again. That was a great scene. There was the one with where Will had the I forget the exact name because it's been a while since I've seen the episode. They basically had the uppers to kind of stay awake. Carlton OD'd on him, all that. So they had that one. I mean, it's just tons and tons. And of course, they had a lot of great comedic moments. They had but then not so. They did a lot of serious moments too, like the one with the gun, where Carlton gets shot, or I guess technically I should say, Carlton was going to get shot, but then Will saved him and everything, all that kind of stuff. But what the hell are they doing? And it's exactly right when he says that this show is only made because they attached themselves to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air TV show. By itself, it sounds like a fine concept, but like to me, it's like, dude, you changed Uncle Phil into a corrupt piece of shit. Now Aunt Viv is a cheating piece of shit. It's like, what's going on here? It seems like the only character who really stayed the same, maybe Will, like I haven't seen the show, is Hillary. Maybe Ashley too, but whatever. But it's like, damn, dude, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of that. You changing Uncle Phil, you changing Aunt Viv, all that stuff. Nah, fuck off. I don't like that. Anyway, I go ahead and wrap this up here. I've already gone a lot longer than I was hoping to. Reboot-Mania is just, God, they're gonna reboot everything, man. It's bullshit. How you gonna do I Am Legend 2? Anyway, whatever. I'll go ahead and wrap this up here. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.